So who are you and what do you do? I'm a gym owner and manager, and we also see clients, and I do a bit of massage and bone therapy, as well as some helping with nutrition coaching with our clients. So one of the major problems that we had in the business before I started with LYBL was really just I was a little bit unhappy in my role. I was fed up and bored, and I kind of just felt really over it. The business was doing quite well, but I just felt like I was running around in circles and not really doing all the things that I needed to be done. So there was like a list, but I just felt very unmotivated to work through it. I was I wasn't sure how long I was going to be able to last, because I was just really satisfied and didn't see it as something that I wanted to do long term. But I didn't really have any other options but to keep doing it anyway. We didn't have anybody to sort of replace me or help me with what I was doing. So had I tried to solve these problems before? So at the time I was actually working with a business coaching group, and they were very specific to the fitness industry, but I just had stopped implementing anything. So I felt like I was throwing my money away, and just as I said, I just felt really stuck with it all. I'm very unhappy. So and how did I find out about LYBL? For me, that was just one of life's wonderful coincidence. So I had a VA who was being mentored by the LYBL VA, and he was helping out with one of our issues. So when I just said, "Oh, who do you work for?" I just had a bit of a quick sticky beak, and loved the look of the program. So I'd asked a couple of questions, and I was invited along to just as a guest to one of the sessions. So what was my experience in using the product? So after a couple of days after that guest session, I joined LYBL because I just had this feeling of being exactly in the right place. Once I started the program and had a coaching session with Tegan, I had a pretty big shift really quickly. I could see how out of balance I was in all of my areas. So I was really focusing on all my 9 out of 10. So my business was going well, my finance side of things was going quite well, but I was just kind of persisting with it. I think it was just out of a fear of letting it go. I was not allowing myself to focus on anything else, because I considered it not to be very important. So things like relationships and home life and just my personal time were just at the very bottom of my list. So after that session, I kind of felt like I've been given permission to do that, and I kind of instantly just started feeling more joy, more control over my life, and a lot less overwhelmed. So I just allowed myself to let go of some of the business side of things, just to get my life back into balance, really. So how has my business and situation changed since working with LYBL? Well, I can now quickly see and feel when I'm doing something that doesn't feel right. I can sort of say, "Hey, no, I'm not doing it like this," and I pivot, and I'm sort of able to stay in a place of calm and control and balance. I now feel very focused on my business again. So I feel like I've been re-inspired. So after giving myself time to create that balance in my life, create my personal space and my home space that I'm really happy with, I felt very inspired to focus on the business again. So I've now got much bigger goals, which I'm working towards, and very clear on what my goals are. And I'm really enjoying my role, but I've also quite happily delegating. So even though I had somebody I could delegate to, I kind of wasn't utilising that, because I just felt, again, I think that there was this sense of it not being safe for me to let go of certain things in the business. I'm also really, really clear on my values and my priorities, so I don't let work get in the way of that. So again, it's more just about maintaining that balance, and getting clear on my values was a really big thing, because they weren't entirely what I thought they would be. So just rejigging things in life for that all to align has made a big difference for me personally, but also in my business as well. What does this mean in terms of my life and business? I have a lot more awareness of everything that I do, and what I want and what I need. I feel more client focused now in the business instead of just trying to get through my daily tasks. And I feel like I've made a shift from not just being happy, but really feeling joy and feeling very open-hearted. So what was the thing that stood out most during the program? The program itself is amazing. The exercises are so powerful in getting to know yourself. I absolutely loved the monthly coaching sessions. They were amazing. But if I would tell someone who's considering the product or service, so if you're in a place where you're feeling stuck, or you have this sort of niggly feeling of something just not being right, or not knowing what your next step in life is, do this. You'll feel guided and you will feel nurtured. You'll get to know your needs and your wants and be able to move forward in exactly the right direction for you. And just some last words. I've always invested in my learning and development. I did a lot of personal development when I was younger, and I kind of almost didn't think like I needed to go there. And it was Michele's words, I think it was in that first session that I had, was what runs in the person runs in the business. And that resonated with me so strongly. And I think that's kind of why I jumped on, because I sort of felt like this is as far as I can go. Being where I am now is keeping me where I am now in my business. So I've really learned that when something doesn't feel right, maybe it just isn't right for me, and I don't have to push myself in that direction just because it's the next expected step. I'm totally okay with pushing myself out of my comfort zone, but I feel I now know the difference between that and pushing myself to do something that's just not right for me.